Welcome. My name is Gabriella, and I want to start by saying something important. You are here because you are survivors. You've carried heavy burdens. Maybe you've fled violence, lost loved ones, worked multiple jobs to support your family, or faced discrimination. You've experienced things that would break many people, but you're still here. You're still standing, you're still fighting, and that takes incredible strength. Today, we're going to talk about something you might not expect in a training like this. We're going to talk about your heart, not just the organ that pumps blood through your body, keeping you alive. We're talking about your heart as a source of strength, as a source of healing, as a source of wisdom that you already possess but may have forgotten how to access. The techniques we'll share with you today come from 30 years of scientific research conducted by the HeartMath Institute. Scientists have studied thousands of people, police officers responding to dangerous calls, healthcare workers dealing with pandemics, veterans returning from war, families dealing with poverty and violence, and what they've discovered is remarkable. But here's what's even more remarkable. These techniques are so simple that you can use them anywhere. At work, when your boss is criticizing you. At home, when your children are testing every ounce of your patience. On the bus, when anxiety starts creeping in bed at 3 a.m., when memories won't let you sleep, standing in line at the immigration office when fear grips your chest. You don't need any special equipment, you don't need to go anywhere special, you don't need to close your eyes or sit in a certain position. You can do these techniques while cooking dinner, while walking to work, while sitting in a waiting room. Nobody even needs to know you're doing them. Before we go any further, I want us to do something together. This will only take 1 minute, but it's the foundation of everything we're going to learn. And I promise you, if you practice this one simple thing, you will notice a difference in your life. I'm going to guide you through a breathing technique. Now you can do this with your eyes open or closed, whatever feels safe for you. If you've experienced trauma, closing your eyes might not feel safe, and that's okay. Keep them open. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If it feels comfortable, place your hand over your heart. Feel it beating there. That's your heart. It's been with you through everything. Every joy, every sorrow, every moment of terror, every moment of peace. It hasn't stopped. It keeps going. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine that your breath is flowing in and out through your heart area, right through the center of your chest, where your hand is resting. Not your nose, not your mouth, but your heart. Breathe in through your heart. Breathe out through your heart. Breathe a little slower than usual. Not too deep. We're not trying to fill our lungs completely. Not too shallow. Just find a rhythm that feels comfortable and easy, like gentle waves on a shore. In and out, in and out. That's it. Just keep breathing this way. You might notice your shoulders starting to drop away from your ears. You might notice your jaw unclenching. You might notice the tightness in your chest loosening just a little bit. Or you might not notice anything at all yet, and that's okay too. Now take a moment and notice how you feel right now in this moment. Maybe you feel a little calmer than you did a minute ago. Maybe you feel the same. Maybe you feel a little uncomfortable because you're not used to paying attention to your body in this way. Whatever you notice is okay. There's no judgment here. If your eyes were closed, you can open them now. What you just did is called heart-focused breathing. And I want you to remember something important. You just did that. In the middle of everything else going on in your life, in the middle of all your worries and fears and responsibilities, you just took 1 minute to be present with yourself. That matters. This simple technique, heart-focused breathing, is the foundation of everything we'll learn together over these 3 sessions. And here's the powerful part that I want you to really understand. You can do this anytime, anywhere. Standing in line at the grocery store when you feel impatient and frustrated, you can do this. Riding the bus to work when anxiety starts building, you can do this. Lying awake at night when your mind won't stop racing, you can do this. Sitting across from someone who's saying hurtful things, you can do this. When your child is crying and you feel yourself about to lose control, you can do this. Nobody needs to know. You don't need to announce it. You just focus your attention in your heart area and breathe. That's it. Now, let me talk to you about something real. Something that maybe nobody has ever explained to you in a way that made sense. When you've been through trauma, and I'm going to name it directly because it's real and it deserves to be acknowledged, violence, loss, fear, migration, family separation, racism, poverty, abuse, witnessing things no human should have to witness, your body remembers. Your mind might say, that was years ago, or I need to move on, or I should be over this by now. But your body remembers. Your body holds onto that stress like a clenched fist that never fully opens. Let me give you a way to understand this. Think of yourself like a cell phone with a battery. Every day when you wake up, you have a certain amount of charge in your battery. That charge is your energy. Physical energy, emotional energy, mental energy. Now, for someone who hasn't been through what you've been through, their battery might drain at a normal rate throughout the day. They work, they interact with people, they handle normal stress, and by evening their battery is at maybe 40 or 50%. They sleep and it charges back up. But for you, your battery drains much, much faster, and there are specific reasons why. Maybe you're working 2 jobs because one job doesn't pay enough to cover rent and food and the money you're sending back home to your family. So you work from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. at one job, then 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. at another job. When do you rest? When do you recharge? Maybe you're constantly worried about your immigration status. Every time you see a police car, your heart starts racing. Every time there's a knock at the door, you wonder if this is the day. That constant state of fear and vigilance, it drains your battery. Maybe you're sending money back home to family members who are depending on you, elderly parents, younger siblings, your own children you had to leave behind, and you're trying to survive here with what little is left. The guilt of not being able to send more, the grief of being separated, the pressure of being the family's only hope, all of that drains your battery. Maybe you're dealing with discrimination at work. Your supervisor speaks to you differently than they speak to your white coworkers. You're given the worst shifts, the hardest tasks, passed over for promotions even though you work harder than anyone else. You have to bite your tongue, smile, say yes sir or yes ma'am, even when you're being disrespected. That constant self-monitoring, that constant swallowing of anger and hurt, it drains your battery. Maybe memories wake you up at 3 a.m., images you can't unsee, sounds you can't unhear. And once you're awake, your mind starts spinning. Worry about money, worry about your children, worry about tomorrow. You can't fall back asleep, so you start the day already exhausted, your battery never fully recharged. And here's what happens when your battery is low. When you're running on 10 or 15% instead of 80 or 90%, everything becomes harder. You get angry faster. Someone cuts you off in traffic and rage floods through you. Your child spills juice and you explode. Your partner asks a simple question and you snap at them. You feel overwhelmed more easily. A task that would normally take 10 minutes feels impossible. Making a decision about what to eat for dinner feels like too much. You might snap at your children when you don't want to. You might say things you don't mean. You might see the hurt in their eyes and hate yourself for it, but you feel like you can't stop. You might feel numb or disconnected, like you're watching your life from outside your body, like nothing is quite real. And here's what I need you to understand. This is not your fault. Let me say that again, because I need you to hear it. This is not your fault. This is not a weakness. This is not a character flaw. This is not you being too sensitive or unable to handle life. This is what trauma does to the human nervous system. This is what happens when your body has been in survival mode for months or years or decades. Your nervous system is trying to protect you. It's working exactly as it's designed to work when facing ongoing threat. The problem is that it's working too hard, all the time, even when there's no immediate danger. It's like having a car alarm that's too sensitive. A leaf falls on the car and the alarm goes off. A cat walks by and the alarm goes off. The alarm is trying to protect the car, but it's exhausting and it's going off when it doesn't need to. That's your nervous system right now. It's trying to protect you, but it's on high alert all the time, draining your battery, keeping you in a constant state of stress. Now here's what science has discovered, and this is where hope comes in. This is where change becomes possible. Your emotions, not just your thoughts, but your emotions, your feelings, have a direct, measurable, powerful effect on your body. In fact, emotions affect your body even more than thoughts do. When you feel frustration, maybe at your job, maybe at the system, maybe at yourself, your body releases stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, and others. Over 1,400 different biochemical and hormonal changes happen in your body in response to that feeling of frustration. When you feel anger, maybe at the injustice you've experienced, maybe at someone who hurt you, your body's stress response activates. Your heart rate increases, your blood pressure rises, your muscles tense, your digestion slows down. When you feel fear, maybe about your future, maybe about your family's safety, your body goes into fight or flight mode. All your energy goes towards survival. There's nothing left for healing, for growth, for joy. When you feel worry, and worry is perhaps the most common emotion for people in your situation, that worry acts like a slow drip of stress hormones into your system all day long. These hormones don't just disappear quickly. They stay in your system for hours. They make it hard to sleep at night. They drain your energy during the day. They make you more likely to get sick. Over time, they literally make you sick. But, and this is the hope I want you to hold on to, this is the truth that can change everything. When you feel appreciation, when you feel calm, when you feel compassion or gratitude or love or peace, your body releases completely different hormones. DHEA, the vitality hormone. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Serotonin, the happiness hormone. And over 1,400 different positive biochemical changes happen in your body. These hormones help you heal. They give you energy. They help you sleep deeply and wake up refreshed. They strengthen your immune system. They make you healthier. They help your battery recharge. And here's what's remarkable. You have the power to influence which hormones your body produces. You're not helpless. You're not stuck. You have more control than you realize. Let me show you something real that will help you understand just how powerful emotions are. Scientists studied a man, a real person wearing a 24-hour heart monitor. This man was sitting in a car with his partner. He was sitting still, not exercising, not moving, just sitting. His normal resting heart rate was about 60 beats per minute. That's normal. That's calm. Then he and his partner started arguing. Within seconds, his heart rate jumped to 140 beats per minute. Let me put that in perspective. 140 beats per minute is what happens when you're running fast. It's what happens when you're in danger and fleeing for your life. But he was just sitting there. His body was reacting to emotion alone. The argument lasted about 15 minutes, but his heart rate didn't come down after the argument ended. It stayed elevated, over 100 beats per minute, for another full hour after the argument was over. Think about what that means. That's over an hour of his body being in crisis mode, over an hour of stress hormones flooding his system, over an hour of burning through his energy reserves, all from one 15-minute argument. And here's the question I want you to think about. How many times does something like this happen in your life in a week? In a day? An argument with your partner in the morning. Your heart rate spikes. It stays elevated for an hour. Then you get to work and your supervisor criticizes you. Your heart rate spikes again. Another hour of elevated stress. Then you check your bank account and see you're overdrawn. Another spike. Another hour. Then you're stuck in traffic and you're going to be late. Another spike, another hour. By the end of the day, you've spent maybe 6, 7, 8 hours in that elevated stress state. Your body has been in crisis mode most of the day. No wonder you're exhausted. No wonder your battery is drained. But here's the good news, and I promise you, there is good news. You can learn to change this. You can learn to shift your body out of that stress response more quickly. You can learn to prevent your heart rate from spiking so high in the first place. You can learn to recover faster. You can learn to spend more time in that calm, coherent state where your body can heal and recharge. And that's what these techniques are for. Not positive thinking, not pretending everything is fine, but actual practical tools that change what's happening in your nervous system and your body. Now, let me tell you something that your culture has known for generations. Something that Western science is only now beginning to understand and validate. The heart is not just a pump. The heart is intelligent. The heart has wisdom. In many Latino cultures, we talk about el corazón, the heart, as the center of who we are. We say, lo siento en el corazón. I feel it in my heart. We say, escucha a tu corazón. Listen to your heart. This isn't just poetic language. This isn't just metaphor. Your ancestors understood something true and deep about human nature. And now science is catching up and saying, yes, the heart is intelligent. Yes, the heart has its own kind of wisdom. Yes, we should listen to our hearts. Here's what scientists have discovered. Your heart sends more signals to your brain than your brain sends to your heart. Your heart has its own nervous system. About 40,000 neurons, a little brain, right there in your heart. And the signals your heart sends to your brain directly affect the brain centers involved in decision-making, emotional experience, self-control, memory, and how clearly you can think. This means that the state of your heart, whether it's calm or stressed, coherent or chaotic, directly affects your ability to think, to make good decisions, to control your emotions, to function in the world. Let me show you what this looks like. Scientists can measure heart rhythms, the pattern of your heartbeat, how the time between beats changes from moment to moment. When you're feeling stressed, frustrated, anxious, overwhelmed, or afraid, your heart rhythm becomes chaotic and irregular. It looks jagged and erratic. Scientists call this an incoherent heart rhythm. When your heart rhythm is incoherent like this, several things happen. Your brain function is impaired. You literally can't think as clearly. This is why when you're very angry or very anxious, you might say or do things you later regret. In that moment, you couldn't access your best thinking. Your immune system weakens, your hormonal system becomes imbalanced, your energy drains quickly. But when you're feeling calm, appreciative, compassionate, or connected to someone you love, your heart rhythm becomes smooth and wave-like. Scientists call this a coherent heart rhythm. And when your heart rhythm is coherent, the opposite happens. Your brain function improves. You can think more clearly. You make better decisions. You have better self-control. Your immune system strengthens. Your hormonal system balances. Your energy is conserved and even replenished. And here's the most important part, the part that changes everything. You can learn to shift from an incoherent state to a coherent state, even in the middle of a stressful situation. You don't have to wait until you get home. You don't have to wait until your life circumstances change. You can do it right now, in this moment, wherever you are. You don't even need technology. You can feel it in your body. When you practice the techniques we're teaching, you'll notice physical changes. Your breathing naturally slows down. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw unclenches. The knot in your stomach loosens. The tightness in your chest eases. Your mind gets a little quieter. You feel a little more in control, a little more like yourself. Now, I need to be very clear about something. This is not about pretending everything is okay when it's not. This is not about positive thinking or looking on the bright side. This is not about ignoring real problems or real pain or real injustice. The discrimination you face is real. The poverty you're struggling with is real. The trauma you've experienced is real. The fear you feel is real. The grief you carry is real. I'm not asking you to pretend those things don't exist or don't matter. What I'm offering you is this: the ability to pause, the ability to create even a small space between what happens to you and how you respond, the ability to not let your automatic reactions control you, the ability to respond to life from a place of strength and choice instead of from a place of constant crisis. When you've experienced trauma, your body gets stuck in emergency mode. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for threat. You're always on high alert, always braced for the next bad thing. These techniques help you tell your body, right now, in this moment, I am safe enough to take a breath. I am safe enough to calm my nervous system down. There's a quote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." Let me break this down with real examples. Your boss criticizes you unfairly in front of your coworkers. You feel that surge of anger and humiliation. In the old pattern, you might respond in anger. Maybe you say something disrespectful back. Maybe you quit on the spot, and then you've lost your job. But if you can create even a small pause, even just 3 breaths focused on your heart, you create a space. You can say, "I hear what you're saying. Can we discuss this privately?" You protect your job. You maintain your dignity. Same stimulus, different response, completely different outcome. Or, your child is testing your patience after a long, exhausting day. You feel yourself about to explode. In the old pattern, you yell. Maybe you say things you don't mean. Then you feel terrible. But if you can create that pause, even just 3 heart-focused breaths, you can respond differently. You can be firm without being cruel. You can say, "I need a minute," and step away to breathe. Same stimulus, different response, different outcome for you, for your child, for your relationship. Or you receive news that triggers memories of past trauma. You feel panic rising. In the old pattern, you might shut down for days or spiral into anxiety. But if you can create that pause, if you can practice heart-focused breathing, you can acknowledge the fear while staying present. You can say, "That was then, this is now. Right now, I am okay." This ability to pause and choose, this is what we call self-regulation. And this is essential for thriving. Self-regulation is the ability to manage your emotions even when things are hard. It's the ability to stay calm under pressure, to think before acting, to have feelings without being controlled by those feelings. And many trauma survivors struggle with self-regulation, not because you're weak, but because trauma damages the parts of your nervous system responsible for it. But the techniques we're teaching strengthen those parts. They're like physical therapy for your nervous system. And just like physical therapy, it takes practice. You don't heal a damaged muscle by doing one exercise one time. You have to practice regularly, consistently. But when you do practice, you develop what we call personal coherence. And personal coherence changes everything. When you have personal coherence, you can stay calmer when stressed, you sleep better, you have more energy, you can think more clearly, you're more patient with your loved ones, you make better decisions, you're less reactive, physical pain often decreases, and perhaps most importantly, you feel more hope. Now here's where it gets even more powerful. When individuals in a community practice these techniques, something remarkable happens. You begin to affect each other positively. Your calmness helps create calmness in others. Remember, when you're coherent, you're literally broadcasting that coherence to people around you. Their nervous systems respond. They become calmer without even realizing why. This means when you come home from work in a coherent state instead of a stressed state, you literally change the energy of your home. Your children's nervous systems respond to yours. Your partner responds to your coherence. The whole household benefits. Research has proven this. Nearly 12,000 people have participated in studies on these techniques. After just 6 weeks of practice, 46% reduction in fatigue, 60% reduction in anxiety, 50% reduction in depression, significant increases in calmness, and positive outlook. And these changes aren't temporary. When researchers followed up months later, the improvements persisted. because people weren't just learning techniques, they were actually changing their nervous systems. These changes are possible for you too. Not overnight, healing doesn't work that way. Not without effort, you'll have to practice. Not without setbacks, there will be hard days. But with consistent practice, change happens. Real change, measurable change, change you can feel in your body and see in your life. So let's come back to where we started, to that simple breathing technique. For this week, I'm going to ask you to practice heart-focused breathing for just 1 minute, 3 times a day. That's it. 3 minutes total. Not 20 minutes. Not even 10 minutes. Just 3 single minutes spread throughout your day. 1 minute when you first wake up, before you even get out of bed. Just 1 minute of breathing through your heart. 1 minute sometime midday. Maybe during your lunch break. Maybe in the bathroom at work. Just 1 minute to reset. And 1 minute before you go to sleep. Just 1 minute to release the day. To let your body know it's safe to rest. Maybe you're thinking, I don't even have 3 minutes. I understand, but I promise you, you have 3 minutes. You spend more than that scrolling on your phone. This isn't 3 more things on your to-do list. This is the thing that makes everything else possible. Here's your commitment for this week. I commit to practicing heart-focused breathing for 1 minute, 3 times a day. I also commit to noticing when my battery feels depleted and when I feel energized. And I commit to being gentle with myself because healing isn't linear. Also, pay attention this week to your battery. Notice when you feel depleted, what drains you, and notice when you feel energized, what gives you energy. This awareness is important. And finally, be gentle with yourself. You're not going to be perfect at this. You're going to forget some days. You're going to have days where you practice and still lose your temper. That's normal. That's part of the process. Healing isn't linear. In our next session, we'll learn specific techniques you can use in difficult moments, when stress is happening, when you're triggered, when you need to reset. But for now, your job is simple. 3 minutes a day of heart-focused breathing. You've already survived so much. You've already proven your strength in ways that most people will never have to. You've crossed borders, learned new languages, worked impossible hours, endured discrimination, survived trauma, kept going when giving up would have been easier. But surviving isn't the same as thriving. Surviving is getting through each day. Thriving is having energy left over for joy. And you deserve to thrive. Your children deserve to see you thrive. Your community deserves to have you thriving. These techniques won't solve all your problems. They won't change the systems of injustice you face. They won't erase your trauma, but they will give you a foundation. They will give you a way to manage your internal state, even when you can't control your external circumstances. They will help you break cycles instead of repeating them. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your courage. Your heart is stronger than you know. Your capacity for healing is greater than you imagine. And you don't have to do this alone. We'll see you in the next session. Until then, breathe 3 times a day, 1 minute each time, through your heart. You've got this.